Right, so as some of you may or may not know, I am a huge Nvidia filters fan. I've made countless different Nvidia filter style graphics for DBD, some of which I've made OG filters to make the game look like the OG 2017 version. And I've been getting quite a lot of people asking me about these graphics, about what are the settings, how did you do them, etc, etc. So today I'm going to be taking you guys step by step on how I did it. So let's get into it. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be using GeForce Experience, but you can also use the Nvidia app. I'm pretty sure it's around the same concept. So first, the first thing you want to need to do is you want to have Dead by Daylight open, then you want to press Alt F3. Once you do that, you should have a game filters menu open here on the side. If this does not open for you, you want to go ahead and press Alt and Z. You should be able to see this menu right here, or somewhat similar if using the Nvidia app, and then you want to go ahead and click on game filters. If you don't see any of these menus, you want to make sure you want to go onto your Nvidia app or GeForce Experience settings and have in-game overlay turned on. Once you get the game filters menu open, you want to select which style slot you want to save these graphics on. I currently have them saved in my third slot. So for the first filter style, you want to go ahead and add color, brightness and contrast, and details. For color, you want to have tint color at 12%, tint intensity at 12%, temperature at -17.6, and vibrance at -29.7. Moving on with brightness and contrast, you want to have exposure at -10%, contrast at 41%, highlights at 100%, shadows at 71%, and gamma at -4%. Last but not least, we do have details. For sharpen, we want to have 10%, clarity -32%, HDR toning 35%, and bloom set to 0%. Now, do keep in mind with these graphic filters, there are some maps which are going to be quite difficult to see on, since the maps haven't really been the same since they got a lot of updates, they got graphic style updates, etc, etc, so they're a lot different from the OG 2017 versions, so don't expect it to be an exact replica. Moving on to the second OG game filter, what you want to do is basically the same as the old one. You want to have color, brightness and contrast, and details, but now you would also want to add vignette. You want to basically put this all the way down at the bottom. However, you don't really need to do that. I just prefer it because it just makes it look much nicer. And you want to change the intensity to around a 35%. As for the color, you want to keep tint color at 12%, tint intensity also at 12%, temperature you want to keep it as -17.6, and vibrance keep it at -29.7. For brightness and contrast, you want to have exposure at -26%, contrast at 57%, highlights at -20%, shadows at around 39%, and gamma you want to keep it as -4%. Moving on, we got details. You want to put sharpen at around 5%. You want to have clarity at -24%. HDR toning at -45%, and bloom set to 0%. Now please do keep in mind with these second game filter style settings, it's going to be a lot more complicated, a lot more difficult to see in most maps, especially if you're going against the dredge. It's going to be quite hard to see during nightfall, as I'm showing you here right now in this clip. You are most likely going to get jump scared if you're going to use these settings against a dredge, regardless of what map you are on. But I do encourage you to not use these filter styles if you're going against a dredge, and especially in a very dark map. But anyways, those are the top 2 best Nvidia filter settings to make it look like the OG 2017 version. I know it's not an exact replica, but as I said, the game has received a lot of graphical and visual updates since then, so it's quite difficult to make it look exactly how it used to be back in the OG days. But anyways, I still hope you guys enjoyed. If you do have any questions, please feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to answer you. But anyways, all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you all in my next video. Have a good night, guys.